Chinese engagement does go right back to the liberation struggle in the old days of the Cold War, when Mugabe allied to the Chinese and Joshua Nkomo from the Matabeleland region allied to the Russians. And the Russians and Chinese were competing for influence in Zimbabwe because the British were beyond the pale. They were seen as supporters of the old settler regime. So there was a grand old sort of battle between the conflicting communist camps in those days. But I would take an issue. I've always thought Mugabe was far more Catholic than communist.
Raised by the Jesuits.
His socialism, raised by the Jesuits, devout to the end. His greatest moment, his friends tell me, was that when he met the Pope. And he was, of course, had been endorsed by successive popes, interestingly enough, despite the massive human rights abuses. And those go right back to 83. This idea that Mugabe suddenly became a tyrant when he started taking the land from white farmers is rubbish. He and many of the current regime ran the Gukura Hunde campaign back in 83. 20,000 people were killed in that campaign, which stifled the dissent in that area of Western Zimbabwe. So it's got a long track record. The West said nothing about it then. He became a nuisance when he started interfering with economic ties with the West, and I think that's worth bearing in mind.